Hello, awesome people and collectors. Today, Toy Story 3 turns 15 years old. It was released back in 2010, June 18. Well, it's a little bit more than that because it's around June 2021 now. And I literally just saw the movie. And today, we're just going to rehash it. So, I'll just share my favorite parts of the movie. And let me know in the comments below which part is your favorite. From the start, the beginning of the movie, once again, they leveled up. From Toy Story 1, introducing Sheriff Woody. Then you have Toy Story 2, Buzz goes inside Zurg's lair. Finally, we get to see what he looks like. Then, of course, Toy Story 3 leveled up again. You got that train scene where Woody tried saving the trolls and the Potato Heads destroyed their bridge using Barbie's Corvette. Then all of a sudden, all that train just falls down the bridge with that big explosion. Then who comes to the rescue? Of course, Buzz Lightyear with that mega thrust, like with that super strength carrying that train. And you figured that would be it, right? End of the scene. They captured Mr. Potato Head. They got him cornered, got nowhere to go. So that would be it. But no, it gets better. Then here comes Slinky using his long body, goes in a circle, becomes like a force field. Something my imagination would actually come up with. But of course, it has to be topped off with a full-size T-Rex that is Rex coming off the ground. Roar! So finally, he has the scale of a T-Rex, finally big, intimidating, scary, something I know probably Rex would want. But nope, they gotta top it off. You got Ham, who's called the Dr. Evil Porkchop and has like a huge destroyer ship style that can probably annihilate like a planet or something. Then he drops his big barrel and then you hear that boom, all that red stuff coming out. It looks like flame, but it was thousands and thousands of monkeys released. Even Rex's huge size is no match because there's just overrun with all the monkeys. Now, to be honest, probably the best intro out of all the 4 movies that they had. The first one with Woody showing up, Buzz going to Zurg's lair in part 2, and then part 3, that's just, I'd say, let me know in the comments below, which intro did you like the best? First, second, third, or fourth? I think they introduced the most character on this one. First, Bonnie's toy like Trixie, Dolly, Buttercup, Peas in a Pod, Mr. Prickle Pants in them. Then you have the Sunnyside daycare toys, the controlling Lotso, Big Baby, Twitch, Chunk, Spark, Stretch, and even Ken, who is like a comic relief, but he wasn't trying to be funny. I think in real life, that's how he would be. With him being really careful about his clothes and meticulous, and everything has to be matching. Barbie asked him to do I remember the runway fashion show. Just straight up hilarious how he just fell for that bait because that's exactly what he wants to do. But in the end, he's actually a pretty groovy guy. What do you think? The toilet scene where Woody had to climb on a toilet seat and he had to put a toilet paper on it, that was pretty funny. Potato Head, Bullseye, Rex taking a beating when the kids is in the butterfly room playing with them. That's totally understandable, relatable. Younger kids, tendency is to play rough compared to older kids, unless you're like a Sid, right, where I'd say you customize your action figure, you take off the head, swap it with arms, the modifiers. So which kind of kid were you back in the days? Were you the type to be just rough play, or were you careful like Andy, or were you like Sid? Let me know. Spanish mode Buzz? Who knew he had a Spanish mode? I'm glad I was able to get a limited edition Buzz Lightyear. The one that's glow in the dark that speaks Spanish. Also my Robosen Buzz. But no matter what mode he's on, Buzz always has some sort of attraction with Jessie. Which makes me wonder now with Toy Story 5 coming out next year. With the army of Buzz, would they be attracted to Jessie? Maybe that would be the kryptonite for them, or that's the weakness. Even when he was resetted to Space Ranger mode, there's still that attraction towards Jessie when she was kind of in that jail cell in Sunnyside. Can't forget when he's dancing with Jessie too towards the end. Look at him go, not only a soldier but a salsa dancer too. So chivalrous, Buzz. I like that. I hope they could make like an action figure where he actually kind of dances it. I mean, the Robosen has it a little bit, but it would have been better if he could do a little bit more. Speaking of the ending, Zurg made a slight appearance. Yes, I had to include this one. Even though it was only for a second, at least it still showed up. Now, speaking of the ending, I mean, to be honest with you, I probably would not be like Andy on this one. This is probably where me and him differs. I don't think I'll be able to let go of my action figures. It's just, they have too much sentimental value to me. So, but what about you? Is that something you could have done? Could you have let your toys go, or do you actually still have it like me? So I don't know, Andy, me and you differ on this one. It's very hard to say that this is my favorite movie because, to be honest, I like all of them. It's kind of hard for me to rank. I mean, the reason why it's hard for me to say because the first movie, that one pretty much, that's the one that introduced me to Toy Story, right? So it's pretty much up there. Without the first one, there wouldn't be a second, third, or fourth. So it's hard for me to not take that off my top list. That's where I was introduced to Buzz Lightyear. That's pretty much where it all started, right? I was introduced to Buzz Lightyear and he was so relatable, right? So that's very difficult. Toy Story 2, we were introduced to Zurg, which is one of my favorite villains. So that's hard to take off too because finally we get to see who he was, right? Part 3, it was so good. It was so emotional. The trash scene, they had to fight, climb, run, but in the end they pretty much gave up. There was nowhere to go. A big fire was in front of them and all they can do is to just hold on to each other's hands, be together pretty much till the end, and finally meet their doom. And boom, right? All of a sudden, you have this big claw comes crashing down and saving them with 3 little aliens saying, "The claw." Just amazing. I would probably be okay with that ending already, but you know, it had to get even more emotional with Andy finally giving up his childhood toys and giving it to Bonnie while he drives off. Buzz, Woody, and the crew sees their final goodbye. Oh man, that is just a heartbreaker, seeing your owner or someone you've been with for a long time finally driving off in the sunset while you stay there and look at them. Woo, that one just hits right here. So I would say those 3 would be on the top. It's kind of hard for me to rank them from 1 to 3. I know for sure 4 would be at the bottom. But do let me know your favorite Toy Story movie from 1 to 4. Let me know in the comments below. And with that being said, awesome people and collectors, unite!